Yeah, so like who I don't know who takes it in battle. It's like okay, let's put it this way. If you were in a fight, since we can't necessarily just straight up say who would win. If you were in a fight, and you know it's about to be a fight to the death, like a big ass brawl, who would you rather have on your side? The ultimate shield or the motherfucker that's gonna make sure you come home alive? Or the ultimate sword.
Who is who in this case?
The ultimate sword, this bitch Erza, who gonna bop whoever she running against. Right. Like, that's not a question.
Yeah. I mean,
or the person that's gonna make sure like you also come out alive.
I would ask, how close am I to Erza? Are we good friends?
That's literally
what changes the game.
But if you're a good friend, she's beating your ass all the time anyway.
I mean, if we're good friends though, she's like, if she sees me getting hurt, it's a wrap, dude. Like, the whole thing's getting bodied. Like, Saitama should be scared.
But you might already be dead by the time she saw you hurt.
Okay, yeah. I took it too far with that Saitama comment.
She got everything, cause she bang with us. Hook her on the team, bang. She a little button for the cameras. We got everything that you need.
Piece of news, let's move on to our discussion topic for the episode. So today we decided to do a versus, and we're going to do Erza from Fairy Tail versus Tsunade. And our criteria is going to be, we're going to basically debate who has the most respect in a couple of different areas. One of them is battle, so versus battle. And then one who's a better leader, and then another one is who's like the better woman symbol. I don't know the best way to say that. But
positive female role model.
There you go, positive female role model. So let's get into it.
Alright. So we might as well just start with battle.
Yeah, let's start with battle. Who's throwing the hands out here?
I mean, how about you give some quick pluses on Erza?
Alright, so for Erza, in terms of battle powers, I would give it to her for sure. Somehow that friendship strength she got is up there. She's taking out that dragon.
It's unlimited.
And really, a lot of that strength feat came towards the end of Fairy Tail, because I don't think I put much respect on her strength name. But what she did with her mom, who was a dragon, being able to cut a dragon in half, that pretty much had the strength to hit her once and break every bone in her body.
And she was still able to beat her.
Yeah.
Oh, she also blocked the meteor with her whole body.
Oh, true. She did block a meteor as well.
With her whole body broken.
Yeah, so they brought the meteor strength in there too. So I don't know. Is that a Shounen trope? Meteors?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Naruto's one for sure. They pull it out of Bleach too at the end.
I mean, you can say also Toriko with the meteor spice.
Yeah.
That's essentially one.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a big thing. If they pull it out in Boku no Hero, it's fucking rap, and I can see it because I can see All Might just going like,
"Oh, I got a quirk.
Meteor."
One punch man, a meteor came down. Saitama punched that bitch.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a shonen trope. I gotta look that up. Drop a meteor on him. If it isn't, I'm calling it drop a meteor on him. That's the name of that trope. Whenever you go into a shonen and for some reason they think it's important to drop a meteor to prove somebody's strength, I've seen it happen too many times. It's gotta be a trope. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so her strength for sure. Off that, I would think it's comparable to Tsunade's at least.
Well, Tsunade couldn't stop Midoriya's nigga.
She couldn't stop it?
No, nobody stopped that shit. Right?
Oh, okay, so she might be greater.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it might be greater. The weapons thing, I don't think is anything super duper fancy, and it wouldn't help her much against Tsunade if Tsunade can just fight somebody with blades, to be honest. Like, I mean, they murked the samurai clan. I don't know if Tsunade was alive for that period or ran into any samurais, but them niggas don't really exist in the Naruto verse, so it means I don't know if swords are really that big of a problem for them.
Yeah.
And none of her swords have anything so special to hard counter Tsunade. It's all like magic based, and like Tsunade doesn't really use magic, so it's like, oh, this is a good fire equipment armor. Like, she's like, all right. I mean, I still just throw hands, bro. Like, so I'm assuming she would just be in that samurai form. Sword thing. I feel like that would be because all the other forms would be useless. I just feel like she would just be like, well, I'm just gonna do the regular old where she got those pants and the white wrap around her. Mm-hmm. I just see that. So
yeah, I mean, what I would say about Tsunade though,
she's only does with a slip.
Yeah, well, Tsunade is like the queen of being the best punching bag there is. Like, she can become functionally immortal, heal every wound, and then if she like, oh man, I don't feel like healing this wound, she can summon a giant slug that, guess what? heals wounds. She could literally just strap a slug to her back and just like heal her wounds. Like she got Eerie backpack, bro.
Yeah.
I got this Eerie backpack. So like to me, I think that it's gonna come down to who got more stamina. And I think that Tsunade has never been that person that's like, oh, I'm out of energy. Like she like, oh, I need to.
I feel like
more
this is just a Naruto argument because you pulled that out with the Naruto versus Bleach days that Naruto has like unlimited stamina.
It's not everybody got unlimited stamina.
It's Naruto's stamina is pretty high. Like in the
Well,
Naruto
that's
verse, I'm talking about. No,
verse.
specifically Naruto, but in the verse as well, their stamina is like pretty high. Like what? Have you really seen it happen too much where they're like, oh yeah, I'm fucked up for like 3 days after doing some crazy shit?
Back
like,
in the older Naruto when he gave a fuck.
Yeah, well, right now,
So let's take the
niggas
stamina
pretty much recovered, like,
off the plate. I think throwing
I mean,
them
niggas run out of chakra though.
and Erza, like, stamina is not a good battle because both of them is just like, for Naruto verse, I don't think there's like a good way to measure that. And this one is all based off friendship. Like, stamina literally comes and goes based off the amount of friendship they feel they need in the moment. Because she literally had every bone broken in her body, somehow pulled out enough stamina to like beat this lady. And she still was pretty much moving at the end of the, like, this is like the last fight in the series. Mm-hmm. It didn't really have a major effect on her. So I feel like stamina's like, if anything, we just say them bitches is equal in stamina. Like, they gonna laugh, they gonna do it out, yeah.
And then I think, I'm gonna say this, and some people may think I'm wild, I think Tsunade got better hand-to-hand combat. Cause like, sure, Erza used like swords and shit. Tsunade a whole ass ninja. She gonna that shit out. You know?
I'll say the one thing that might counter that is when Erza went. So when they were doing the tournament, and during one of the rounds of the tournaments, they were like, "Yeah, we got this big ass dungeon with all of these monsters whose power levels go from 100, go from 1 all the way to like, I don't know what the maximum number was, like 100 or whatever." And they said, when it's your turn, you get to choose however many numbers how many monsters you want to fight, but they're all picked randomly. Erza one that said all of them.
GG.
And she banged all of them. From the lowest rank all the way to the highest rank. So I would say, if you got a bunch of these fucking monsters coming at you in all angles, and she's still able to take them all, I would say that's some pretty good hands.
Yeah, so like, I don't know who takes it in battle. It's like okay, let's put it this way. If you were in a fight, since we can't necessarily just straight up say who would win. If you were in a fight, and you know it's about to be a fight to the death, like a big ass brawl, who would you rather have on your side? The ultimate shield or the motherfucker that's gonna make sure you come home alive? Or the ultimate sword?
Who in this case?
The ultimate sword, this bitch Erza who gonna bop whoever she running against.
Right.
That's not a question.
Yeah. I mean,
or the person that's gonna make sure like you also come out alive.
I would ask, how close am I to Erza? Are we good friends?
That's literally
what changes the game.
But if you're a good friend, she's beating your ass all the time anyway.
I mean, if we're good friends though, she's like, if she sees me getting hurt, it's a wrap, dude. Like, the whole thing's getting bodied. Like, Saitama should be scared.
But you might already be dead by the time she saw you hurt.
Okay, yeah. I took it too far with that Saitama comment.
Let's say this.
You might already be dead by the time she saw you, though.
Right, but either way, it's still gonna turn up her friendship level to a million.
We talking about who would you
rather? Got Dragon Ball, she ain't coming back.
Yeah.
I know I'm not coming back, but it's gonna turn her friendship up to a million.
Magic out there. There's probably a nigga out there.
It is fair. If we talking about fairy tale, I'm coming back. Guaranteed.
All right, look. You don't know. Let's say y'all not friends, but y'all associates. You in the same guild.
So you're not Jalal.
I think I lean more on Tsunade just because I feel like she's smarter. That's it.
You think so?
I just feel like her battle strats might be a little bit better than Erza's. I feel like Erza, I don't think I've seen anything that shows me she has any type of battle strat as much as she just like has enough tools in her belt that it's just like, oh, I'm losing, use another tool.
So now the argument is when we talking about battle, who's better? Are we just talking about their ability to 1v1 throw hands, or they overall?
Their 1v1 throw hands, I would think strength wise, I maybe edge it out to Erza a little bit here. But I don't think that it's so far that Tsunade couldn't like still beat her based off other criteria. That's the thing. Like, I don't think she's so much stronger than her that doesn't matter what other things she used in her tool belt, she'll lose. Like, the immortality thing is gonna help her make up for the fact that she's not as strong as Erza. So she can take a little bit of damage, be a little risky out there to find a weakness. And especially if Erza uses that form where she doesn't have any real armor, like, yeah, Tsunade definitely has a chance. There's other things she can do. She grapple that bitch, choke that bitch. Like, there's other things to do. Sorry for calling Erza a bitch, but she can, grapple and choke her. So
I think I'm going with Erza just based on the fact that she destroyed a meteor. And we know that
is true. They body all them niggas. But
the
question is, was that meteor as big as Madara's meteor?
Mm-hmm.
It's a real question.
Dude,
I really don't.
We don't know.
I don't know. I would assume the shit was smaller, but hey.
Yeah, because what y'all meteor was gonna destroy the whole army.
Yeah, Madara's
meteor was gonna destroy the whole army.
It was like everybody go, what?
That bitch parted the clouds.
But then again, yeah, somebody dropped the tree on Tsunade, cut that bitch in half. She's still alive, so like she gonna be around.
A tree?
Yeah. You remember there was one scene where like there was pretty much a tree just like on her body.
Nigga, this is a tree.
Yeah, like a giant ass tree. Like split her shit up.
Yeah,
and she was good.
Yeah, we already know that she can heal. We know that she has infinite healing.
I mean, yeah, I don't know about tree healing though, like tree healing shit. But hey, bro. Yeah.
All right, so I guess then the group consensus is that Erza takes the W for battle.
Sure, we'll give it to her.
Leader, is this a competition?
Oh no, I think Tsunade easily takes leader.
Yeah.
I think Erza she got leader by strength.
Yeah.
I
got the most muscle.
I'm the leader.
Yep.
Like based off that, and like people listen to
Tsunade.
So yeah, we already know. Like, I don't know if we have to add pluses to either one's leadership, but I mean like Hokage. That's pretty much all you can really say. Like Hokage. Yeah, war happened in her term, but I feel like it was kind of some Barack Obama type stuff where you just got in at the wrong time. Like, it wasn't anything she could really do.
Got in when the war was getting started.
Yes.
But
you got elected at a bad time.
My argument with that is that like she definitely wasn't the first choice though. Like niggas was kind of like, yeah. They
went to Jiraiya for sure.
They did it at Jiraiya. Can it be Hokage? He was like, nah, bro.
I can find somebody else.
I like them hoes too much, bro. I can go find somebody.
You had so many sex scandals, bro.
Hell yeah. First day.
Everybody pussy.
Everybody. Jiraiya would have been Trump. You know what? I just grabbed myself.
In between everybody in the village, they shut that shit up. My book coming out tomorrow, bro. Hey, bro. That shit up.
Wouldn't that be crazy though? Like, yeah, our Hokage literally puts out porn books. Like, our Hokage makes best-selling porn. Best-selling porn. Yeah, I just grab him by the pussy. You know what I mean?
His mind's like, hey, well, there's this war going on. It's like, look, bro.
Grab him.
Yeah, just grab him.
Wow.
That Hokage summit would have been interesting, bro. That Mizukage would have been being flirted with by Jiraiya, bro.
Yeah. Jiraiya, we gotta worry about the world. Hey, baby, let's worry about us.
This nigga would have been posting nude pictures every day.
Right.
Dick slang.
Alright, so third criteria, who's the better? What was it? Female?
Positive female role model. Now, I usually stick with the same person, but I'm gonna have to flip it up. In this case, I want to say Erza gets the W for this. Why do I say this? It's because the role that Tsunade is in is very much your classic female. Still a Tsunade or whatever. Like, it's in her name. So she still fitting a trope, but what she does, she's still just like a nurturer. She still takes the backseat, even though she the fucking Hokage. She takes the backseat. She nurtures people. You know what I mean? Erza throw them things like in a suit of armor with a sword, not a bow and arrow. No, she got a sword. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think she definitely shows like, women can fit in whatever role we want to fit in. Right. And I want to fit in the knight role.
See, if that's the argument, then yeah, I give it to Erza. But for me, if we're talking about just like a woman doing great things, I think Tsunade would take it more than Erza. I felt like Erza is a great role model to show that, like, oh, if a woman wants to do what a girl can do, you can do that. Like, that's pretty much good. Like, oh, you want to throw hands like a dude? Erza. Like, but if it's like Tsunade came in, she wasn't that great as like, she came in like basically second tier as a Hokage. She at least, I didn't see where this eventually went, but she at least implemented like a healthcare system. Like basically these niggas had no healthcare. Like they had some doctors, but they had no concept of medical ninjas, which I don't understand why that was like eradicated from the system. Like, if they had it before, like, when did they get to the point where they're like, you know what, these medical ninjas really cutting into our budget? Fuck them. Like, we just gonna lose more lives on purpose. So I feel like that was a Donzo plan. Donzo had to be the nigga that suggested that shit. Like, hey, let's just get rid of all the medical ninjas. And then it's like,
whispered somebody here.
Yeah, right. Because all of the peace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
they felt like
we need a shit.
A ninja never dies.
Now they like, oh, it ain't no war. Let's just have like 3 niggas on staff.
Did they have like an Ambu medical ninja? I feel like he could be a real one, whoever that was.
Assassinate niggas by day, heal them by night. Right? Other way around. I
bring him back to like just to torture him enough to get information. Like, he probably has jutsu like that, where it's like, yeah, I can keep you alive, but I really was just doing this so I can find out some shit, and then I'll kill you later. So yeah, off that, I think Tsunade was a good leader and like a positive role model and showing like how a woman competes in a male-dominated world. But Erza was just good for showing like a tomboy type girl who was just like, yeah, all these boys are telling me I can't do some shit. Like, no, you can. That's what she was there for.
And here's the reason that I would rather go with Tsunade. Because of, honestly, mainly because of what the author actually did with each character. So with Fairy Tail, they showed a lot more sexualization of the female characters. Right. Especially with Erza, with her being tortured multiple times, getting all of her clothes like ripped off and all this other shit. I'm like, okay. So that definitely, the mangaka definitely is trying to give a nigga a lot of bonus with with some of these characters and so forth. Whereas you don't really get that with Tsunade. It's more of a, all right, let's show this girl having mean hands. Also, with her being a lot stronger in terms of like actual physical damage than your typical male character. Probably the only male characters that would be physically stronger than her, like in their actual hands, would be like some of the Rei Kages, just because, you know. Just because, you know, it's part of their clan or whatever to be strong as hell and fast as hell.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to put it more on Tsunade than Erza, just based on what the mangakas did with those characters.
So it looks like we got, who won this one?
Looks like it's going to Tsunade.
Okay, so like we got 2 Tsunade wins and 1 Erza win. So overall, it looked like Tsunade's better.
Hey,
I don't respect on Tsunade's name, which I'm cool, man. I think she deserved it.
But if they did the fusion dance, my goodness.
Oh, so right, it's over.
The double F's coming through.
Still wouldn't be able to compete with Naruto, but that's me then.
That's true. He busted.
All right.